Today, Israel confirmed that it intercepted a drone coming from Yemen over the Mediterranean Sea. This drone was reportedly launched from Yemen toward the United States aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman, which is accompanied by the destroyer USS the Sullivans and missile destroyers like USS Stout and USS Donald Cook. Israel claimed responsibility for downing the drone. This incident raises significant questions, especially in the aftermath of the attack on Hodeidah yesterday. Yemen appears determined to continue its support for Gaza, delivering a message of steadfastness despite the challenging circumstances. This act of defiance underscores Yemen's exceptional resilience in supporting Gaza, even as the United States carrier Truman has entered the Mediterranean. The broader implication lies in the confrontation between United States Central Command and Yemeni leadership. This confrontation highlights Yemen's unwavering commitment to Gaza, despite Israeli claims of major developments in the Gaza conflict. Israel has increasingly shifted its focus to the Golan Heights, where it has added 363 square kilometers of Syrian territory. This expansion has somewhat reduced Gaza's immediate strategic significance. While the Israeli government has allocated budgets for settlement expansion in the Golan, it has faced considerable difficulties in achieving similar objectives in Gaza. Gaza's steadfast resistance has thwarted Israeli attempts to impose a similar agenda there, despite past occupation of the territory. The resilience of Gaza's people continues to block any settlement projects, even as Israel debates revisiting the disengagement law under figures like Gallant. This situation reveals a stark contrast between Gaza and the Golan. In the Golan, Israel has moved quickly and effectively to allocate resources and implement settlement policies, taking advantage of the lack of local resistance. In Gaza, however, the spirit of resistance has prevented Israel from achieving its objectives, despite its military power and extensive destruction. In the Syrian context, Israel has exploited divisions within Syria to further its goals. Figures like Kamal al-Labwani, who acts as a spokesperson for Israel's operations in Syria, have facilitated strikes on targets in Tartus and Latakia, using intelligence to direct attacks. These operations have been significant, with claims of nuclear-capable bombs being used to strike Syrian weapons depots. The ongoing situation reflects broader political dynamics, with both Israel and Syria heavily influenced by internal calculations. While Israel pursues ideological unity, Syria remains entrenched in pragmatism and internal rivalries. These factors underscore the complex interplay of regional and domestic politics, particularly in areas like the Golan, where Israel has bolstered settlements and expanded its reach with minimal opposition. Meanwhile, discussions continue about offering Israel concessions, such as integrating Druze towns into Israeli jurisdiction. Such moves could reshape regional dynamics, with the United States reportedly backing new administrative arrangements in Syria as part of broader geopolitical strategies. These developments point to a recalibration of power structures, where settlements and territorial expansion take precedence over resistance efforts in regions like Gaza. Welcome to a new episode of Middle East Insights. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, activate the notification bell to stay updated, and share. Thank you. The matter concerns such drone launches which navigate through eastern and western Sinai and occasionally across the Egyptian delta for maneuvering and infiltration. This latest incident occurred through such an infiltration route as previously noted. Today there are claims of interception, but a closer examination reveals a significant development. Following the intense Anglo-American strike yesterday, the USS Harry S. Truman entered the Mediterranean. This drone launch serves as a message that, despite Israel's territorial expansion in Syria, the ceasefire in Lebanon, and its ongoing operations in Gaza, there remains a precise focus on targeting sensitive military locations. Israel claims that its Sa'ar missile systems intercepted the drone, but official documents from the Israeli military indicate that over 80% of Yemeni drones have successfully reached their targets. Out of 5 launched drones, 4 reportedly hit their objectives. This demonstrates Yemen's high success rate in such operations. Furthermore, the United States also claimed credit for downing this particular drone, using advanced missile systems integrated into the Truman's defenses. The situation underscores a critical development. Despite new interception technologies, one drone reportedly struck a sensitive military target. Images from the incident are under review, but early evidence suggests a direct hit on a significant target, marking an extraordinary escalation. Against the backdrop of the USS Harry S. Truman's presence, Israel is eager to showcase its naval capabilities, particularly as its air force remains the primary focus of its military strategy. However, Israel's ground forces have faced harsh criticism after their poor performance in the Gaza and Lebanon confrontations, as well as during earlier operations in Syria. This has led to calls for a comprehensive reevaluation of Israel's ground forces, which now seem sidelined. The Navy, in contrast, is being positioned as a means to deflect domestic criticism of Prime Minister Netanyahu's handling of the October 7th events. Israel seeks to shift public attention from the failures of that day, which marked the start of widespread losses for Israel. Had multiple fronts been opened on October 8th, with Gaza's resistance surpassing the critical 3-day threshold, Hezbollah and Bashar al-Assad could have exploited the situation to pursue the liberation of occupied territories, forcing negotiations from a position of strength. However, the Israeli strategy of containment succeeded in avoiding a broader conflict, turning the situation into a war of attrition, rather than a decisive confrontation. Iran, too, avoided committing to an all-out conflict, likely to prevent incurring significant costs. The period between October 7th and October 10th presented a golden opportunity to reclaim occupied territories and establish a new balance of power. Despite the courage of Gaza's resistance, the lack of comprehensive coordination prevented a larger breakthrough. Regarding Syria, Israel's focus on demographic development and increased budgets for settlements in the Golan Heights has further entrenched its hold on the region. The Israeli newspaper Maariv even noted that Netanyahu effectively neutralized the Golan population. Meanwhile, Gaza continues to resist attempts at settlement expansion, maintaining its role as a symbol of steadfastness. Notably, Yemen has stepped up its support for Gaza by launching drones and missiles across the Mediterranean, demonstrating its commitment to sustaining military pressure. These actions underline Gaza's resilience in striking military targets both on land and from the air, utilizing drones and missiles. Yemen's involvement ensures that Gaza retains military leverage in negotiations, even under difficult conditions. In conclusion, Yemen's ongoing support, both militarily and diplomatically, reinforces the idea that Gaza has not been abandoned. Despite the challenges, these actions ensure that resistance continues to shape the dynamics of any potential negotiations. Thank you, and goodbye.